Joined by Jacob Ramsay of Control Risk Group. And Jacob once worked with the Australian government as a senior analyst providing risk assessments for Southeast Asia to the Australian Prime Minister. And he joins us on the line from Singapore this morning. Jacob, good to have you with us. Thankfully, no violence in Bangkok over this weekend, but how high is the risk of more violent clashes?
It is a good sign that there's been no action over the weekend, but the tension has built since last Friday, particularly with Anapong taking over security issues and issuing threats now to the red shirts to move out and not to go into certain areas. And added to that, we've got the yellow shirts, if you can remember, from 2008, who are weighing into the mix and also threatening some sort of action of their own. So it's quite tense.
Yeah, it is quite tense. What about Prime Minister Abhisit bringing in the Army Chief as the Deputy Prime Minister? I mean, what does that say to you, that sort of move?
The events of last week definitely caused a split between the military and the civilian government, and they've been spending most of the week trying to paper over those splits, and this is clearly a compromise on the part of the two to stick together. And try and hold out against the red shirts. If they had have split, then there would have been some very serious problems for the country.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say that Prime Minister Abhisit right now is facing some pretty serious concerns? I mean, is he pretty much out of office at this point?
It looks like that. It's a very very unclear situation. I think. You know, the term half coup has been floated around in Bangkok in the last few days, but at the moment, no, he's still likely in charge, at least constitutionally, but he's obviously living and working with a lot more direct pressure from the military leadership.
Yeah, and what about these protests? I mean, these red shirts have obviously defied the soldiers and the government troops, and these dramatic escapes that we saw over the weekend, again, just seems to solidify their position, doesn't it?
It does. The bungled operation on Fridays was definitely quite humiliating for the police. It really just highlights for the military the threat of infiltration within the security forces at the moment of opposition red shirt protesters, or at least lines of communication into the administration, which is compromising the security forces' own security efforts at the moment.
Yeah, Jacob, let me ask you, what about the king? We're still waiting to hear from King Bhumibol. Why hasn't he spoken out yet, considering we had 21 deaths, which was the worst, I guess, death count in more than 2 decades?
Well, I suspect the royal family is keeping quite a distance at the moment because the issues are unresolved. But we have seen the Queen and the Crown Prince come out and show their support to those injured by the violence last week. I think it'll be a while, if at all, the king does come out and speak.
Okay, Jacob, one more question for you. But do you think pro-Thaksin supporters are going to get into office once again?
It's too hard to call. There's going to be a couple more steps in the next couple of days. My point, I guess, is that the military are going to hold on for as long as they can. They're not going to give in without a fight.
Okay, Jacob, thanks for that. Jacob Ramsay of Control Risk Group joining us on the line from Singapore, giving us the latest situation update on Bangkok.